For those who have just seen an expansive market in real estate investing for 10, 15 years, what happens when the market goes down and we don't have the same appreciation is the gap funding and the second mortgages should go away because that's considered very risky on the collateral. It just kind of vanishes. So the gap lending, used with carrybacks and everything else, are really used in an expansive market. It bridges the gap, that gap funding. I get it. It makes sense. But they're really going to make their money when the market's going up and the collateral is getting stronger every day. When the prices start to go down, a lot of that gap funding, second mortgages, should just kind of go away. I used to have a book back in the day, back in 06, 07, they had a book with just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of second mortgage companies. And they just all disappeared overnight when the market started to go down. So anybody that's very dependent on gap lending in their business, I think seller financing is awesome in business, in real estate investing. But if you're super dependent on the gap funding and second mortgages, just keep that in mind that people have been around a long time. They want very good first positions much of the time. It's a great opportunity as a wholesaler. I think as a wholesaler, and also the haves and wants section. If you want to be an investor buyer, you can check out the haves and wants section at MNREIA, first Tuesday of every month, 7 p.m. And then on the Wednesdays following that, you can also learn to be a wholesaler as well at the Wholesaling 101.
Gap lenders who provide high-risk, short-term, second-position financing tend to reduce or stop lending during the recession or downturn phase of the real estate cycle. The market conditions that cause them to disappear include falling property values. A decline in real estate values erodes the equity cushion that gap loans rely on. Since the gap lender is second in line to be repaid after the primary lender in a foreclosure, falling property values mean they are at a much higher risk of not recouping their losses. Increased market risk and uncertainty. General economic and market uncertainty, often signaled by rising interest rates, makes lenders across the board tighten their standards. This increased risk aversion is particularly pronounced for gap lenders due to their junior lien position. Higher foreclosure rates. During a recession, more borrowers may default on their loans due to job losses or other liquidity pressures. The complex and often unfavorable foreclosure process for junior liens makes it a nightmare for gap lenders, leading many to avoid the market altogether. Reduced liquidity. A general contraction in the availability of credit means that even gap lenders may have trouble securing their own funding, which in turn causes delays or a complete halt in offering new loans. Stricter lending standards by primary lenders. When traditional banks and primary lenders become more risk-averse and scale back activity, the overall lending environment becomes more challenging, impacting all financing tiers. In essence, gap lenders thrive in expansionary markets where property values are rising rapidly, allowing them a large enough equity buffer to secure their investment, but they quickly retreat when the market turns and the risk of loss increases significantly.